Bam, 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 we're in here. I'm not completely healed.
Oh, what you talking about? The eye?
I scratched my cornea.
Oh, that's right. Oh, yeah.
I scratched my cornea, ignored it, and it got infected.
Oof.
Infected eye. That's probably going to leave some permanent scarring because I waited so long. Man, it felt like my eyeball was going to pop out of my head. Then I was like, maybe I should go to the doctor.
Who told you it was infected?
Well, my beautiful lady told me, I think your eye's infected. And I was like, nah, it ain't infected. I'll be all right. Like most fellas do.
Yeah.
And no, it wasn't all right. It was getting worse. And I went, the optometrist told me it's all bad, gave me some antibiotics. And I'm back on the road to recovery.
Well, you're going to keep your eye.
Yeah.
You're not going to have to walk around like Slick Rick with an eye patch and nothing like that.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. Well, okay, yeah.
But yeah, it was just like, a lot of times, they want to say to guys, the guys get a cold and they're, a guy get a cold and he's a wimp. Like, nah, you get a cold, he's sick. When I'm sick, I like to be sick.
Yeah.
Usually I try to convince myself I'm not sick. But if I'm sick, I'm down. Most fellas are. Mm-hmm. But they like to call us wimps. The women like, they wimps, and because they do a lot. The women.
Wait, the women call you?
The women call the fellas wimps when they get sick, when they get colds and stuff like that. And they say, the women are strong. Because I feel like, the women are stronger most of the time. And, they balance a lot. The women will be sick and still go to work and help with the kids and try to do all of this laundry and all of this.
Well, that's true. But I think women respect men who like to show their emotions. That's what I think.
No, the consensus out there is that men are babies when it comes to being sick. That's the consensus. That's just what it is.
Okay.
And but in the same sense, they still get on us for not going to the doctor enough, right? So we don't run to the doctor.
Okay.
We don't run to the doctor at every pain, even though we're in extreme pain at times.
True.
So it can't be both, is what I'm saying. We can't be wimps and stupid for not going to the doctor.
That sounds like
we're just too tough for our own good. So we're stupid. We're not wimps.
Yeah, I mean it all falls under the conclusion.
We're not wimps. When we're sick, we're sick. When you're sick, you should lay down. When you're sick, you should lay down and be sick, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Am I wrong for that?
No.
I think when women are sick, they should lay down and they should say, I'm sick, help me, make me some soup.
Yeah, because they're already super women.
Already,
right?
So lay down. If you're sick, you got to lay down and recharge that battery.
And then that'll make us feel better about laying down when we're sick. So it's like, okay, we could all just lay down if we.
If I'm sick, I'm laying down.
Right.
I need that for my spirit. I tell everybody how sick I am.
Yeah.
And I lay it down. I get the big blankets. Sweat it out,
Uh-huh.
Get the bundle up, what I'm saying? Throw on something, binge watch.
Yeah,
I got my orange juice and my teas and all of that.
True.
And that's what everybody should do. There should be no guys are babies and girls are strong because they wanna be sick and do the laundry. Like, why you wanna be sick and do all that work for? If the other people ain't sick, they should be doing the work.
Well, sometimes they have nobody else to help them get through the day or do all the work.
Buh.
Oh, come on.
Buh. Everybody got somebody to help around.
Not true. No. There's what
I'm talking about the people complaining about men being sick, being babies when they sick.
The people in relationships.
If you're able to complain about a man being a baby when he's sick, then no, the man is in the house. You know what I mean? I'm talking about people that live together or in a relationship.
Okay, you're talking about...
This is relationship talk.
Relationship talk. People who are in a coupling. Yeah.
Come on, man.
Okay.
Stick with me. Everybody's got help.
No, not everybody has help, but people in a relationship.
Everybody in a relationship should lean on that other person in a relationship to help out 50-50.
There you go. If
it's not financially, it's emotionally, it's upkeep, it's all of that. Support, it's everything.
Yeah, you're there to be each other's pillar of strength.
You know,
like
half is half.
it's got to be a two-way street. Because you know what they say: if it's a one-way street, there's all these car crashes happening. You know.
If it's a one-way street, it's nothing but car crashes. If that ain't the truth.
You know, you dig.
Indeed, my friend.
Quite.
You know, so what's going on in the news lately? Ghislaine Maxwell, Trump wishes her well. Nobody says anything about that. My friends on the right never seem like they're on this crusade about pedophilia.
Okay.
And
your friends?
Child trafficking. My friends on social media.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
It's people on my timeline, they're speaking out against child trafficking, which I'm all for.
You're all for speaking out on child trafficking?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Just like I'm all for the support of Black lives.
100%.
I think it's very strange how all of a sudden, you know, they speak up on those things, but they don't speak up on other things.
Oh, right.
Right. They don't speak up on other things, but they speak up on these things when it's convenient for them. A lot of these things are convenient. Like, everybody knows Jeffrey Epstein is a horrible person. And we all know that Bill Clinton is a horrible person. I'm going to get more into Bill Clinton in a minute. But everybody knows that Bill Clinton, Jeffrey Epstein, Alan Dershowitz, Prince Andrew, Ghislaine Maxwell, all of these people are dirtbags, right?
Yep.
But it seems like the people on the right like to cherry pick at who was seen with these people, including the President of the United States, who wishes her well.
Because anybody
who wishes a pedophile well, and it's just like you. That's what you say. This person is being charged for horrible crimes, and you say, "I wish her well." And these people who are coming out saying all these crazy things and coming out with all of these theories about these pedophiles and this Jeffrey Epstein thing, and the President of the United States, the most powerful man in the world, says, "I wish her well," when they ask him about it, and you have nothing to say?
Yeah, they don't bat an eye about it.
Nothing.
No.
You have nothing to say about that. You want to talk about Bill Clinton, which you should want to talk about Bill Clinton, but you should want to talk about the president saying, "I wish her well," which I thought was crazy.
Well, not just that. You can't have a group of people on the right campaigning that Joe Biden is a pedophile and then not Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell.
No. They're on Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell. Something's heavy. Like, they on them. Like, that's who they're focused on, right? They're focused on Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell, right?
Yeah.
But they're focused on the people who were with them as well, right? They're focused on Bill Clinton and all of these people that went to Epstein Island, right? To the pedophile island.
Yeah,
right?
well, Trump is involved in all that.
But they ignore the fact that the president has a relationship with them, and they ignore the fact that the president acknowledged that he has a relationship with them, and they ignore the fact that the president said he knows that Epstein likes very young girls, and I think he said that in 2005, and
way back, yeah, that's documented.
Yeah, and they ignore the fact that he says he wishes Ghislaine Maxwell. He wishes her well.
Yeah.
You can't call out all of this and then not call out that.
Not call out him wishing a known pedophile, sex trafficker, and actually sex traffic ring leader. She helped develop a sex traffic ring.
I wish her well. That's
what he said.
That's what you said when they asked you. Oh yeah, I know her. You know, supposedly they lived in Palm. You knew they lived there.
Yeah. Like,
you got pictures with them.
Yeah.
You said you know the man like young girls.
Yep.
A little on the young side is, I believe, what he said.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's disgusting, man. And Bill Clinton. We always knew he was horrible. Y'all need to stop inviting Bill Clinton to the barbecue. Bill Clinton is disgusting. Bill Clinton took so John Lewis, legendary Congressman John Lewis, activist, civil rights leader. John Lewis passed away. God bless the dead. And
God bless the dead.
And Barack Obama gave a 40-minute speech talking to, and Barack Obama did politics, right? And what's funny is people saying, oh, he shouldn't be doing. What's funny is the people who say Barack Obama shouldn't have been speaking like that at John Lewis' funeral are the same people who did not even post R.I.P. John Lewis or anything, right? So enough with that. Barack Obama did at John Lewis' funeral what John Lewis would have did at Barack Obama's. Right. Gave a classic Barack Obama long-winded speech. It was good though. And he, of course, he threw shots at current leadership.
For sure.
And but Bill Clinton gave a speech speaking of his relationship with John Lewis. And he said something that really rubbed me the wrong way.
What did he say?
He said that during the civil rights movement, it could have went Stokely's way, as in Stokely Carmichael. But he was. I was worried it was going to go Stokely's way, but John Lewis prevailed. The privilege and the arrogance of a white man as powerful as him to be saying, no, this black movement shouldn't go this way. It should go this way. For him to even think that he had a say, in which it looks like he did, in John Lewis, or in the uplifting of John Lewis, and making Stokely Carmichael look out to be like some kind of radical. Stokely Carmichael's damn inspiration. A great man. I never looked at him as a radical. Stokely Carmichael came up with the term Black Pride or Black Power. And just for a white person to think that it's okay to publicly talk about like you have some say in what movement black people choose to have. That's the arrogance of the Democratic Party that I just can't get down with.
Bill Clinton said that it could have gone Stokely's way.
He said, I was worried it was going to go Stokely's way, but thank God John Lewis prevailed.
He was concerned about another movement that was clearly a positive and black pride movement. He was concerned that it was going to go that way. Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah, and he was glad it went in a more docile movement. Basically, and that angered me to some degree. I was like, man, the nerve to get up there and say that.
Yeah, I felt that he made another backhanded comment, where he really towards the end said, with controversy and all, John Lewis became a prominent figure, and it kind of made my head kind of turn like that when he mentioned about like whatever controversies that John Lewis had gone through in his day. And I'm actually not aware of them. I just am aware of the significance of John Lewis being a part of the movement really early on in the civil rights movement. But all these little backhanded compliments that Bill Clinton...
I mean, he's just whack, and he's in an old age. He's showing himself more. It's just whack, man. I mean, I remember when Barack Obama was running against Hillary Clinton, and Bill Clinton said something like he would have been carrying my bags or something like that, something to that degree.
Did he really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Man, can we cancel Bill Clinton and and these right wing folks? You guys are being weird, man. You're being weird. You're cherry picking, and cherry picking is whack to me. I like to call out everything. I call out Democrats. I call out Republicans. I call out racists. I call out pedophiles. I call out I call out wrong. All of it.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all don't call out nothing. Y'all call out what you want to call out that helps your argument.
I think the key here is to be able to call out somebody that is on your side of the coin. Because that's what right people don't want to do. And also left.
It's just like racism, right? You know why racism is so hard for me to grasp, how somebody is racist? And how I know I'm not racist? Is because my whole life, I've been surrounded by people who look like me and people who don't look like me.
Mm-hmm.
Constantly. All my friends are everybody.
Mm-hmm.
The people I surround myself with look like everybody.
Yeah.
Look like me, look like you, look like my kids, Everybody's, all ethnicities around me constantly. I want to say something to y'all. If you can look around you and everybody looks like you, how are you ever, whether you say you're not racist, or whether you're listening to rap music, how could you ever say that you understand how somebody feels when you don't hang out with nobody that looks like anybody that doesn't look like yourself? White people, black people, Asians, all of you. How can you say that you are fully accepting if everybody looks the same? If everybody looks the same, thinks the same, listens to the same music, how are you not separating yourself from people? I've been to the craziest punk rock joints. I've been to the country bars. All of that. I just go. I don't care how people respond to me. They'll respond differently by the time I leave. I guarantee it.
I remember a story you once told me about you going to a bar.
Antlers.
Antlers. Yeah, that's in my hometown.
Mm-hmm.
Pinole.
Ain't there some hillbillies up in there?
Yeah, and I remember, this is like when I first met you. You told me this story. You said you went in there and immediately noticed that the crowd was.
They all looked the same. They all looked the same, and I didn't look like them.
You didn't look like them. But through the power of music, they didn't know that you had such an encyclopedic knowledge in all genres. So I believe you told me that you put on some Merle Haggard and started singing all the words.
I put on some Merle Haggard, yeah.
You put on Merle Haggard, knew all the words, and they're like, oh, okay. And
we ended up watching basketball.
And ended up watching basketball.
Yeah, that's how it went.
Yeah.
It's just it's hard to when everybody around you look the same. It's hard to really see it another way. And then when you got like Fox News that does this fear mongering thing that they do.
Yeah.
They're coming for you. They're coming for the suburbs. The president just did it. Mm-hmm. They're coming for the suburbs. It's like if that's not fear mongering and racial hate, I don't know what is. If you don't want to call it out, fine. If you don't want to see it, if you can't see it, it might be because everyone around you looks the same and regurgitates that same bullshit in your ear. We'll be back. Are we back in here?
We're back.
Bam, bam, bam. Yes, in full effect. That was a good first half of the show. And I hope everybody could have got some game from it. Mm-hmm. Being so one-sided. There's a reason why you're one-sided. Sometimes you just don't want to look around you and see why you're so one-sided.
Well, I think it, for a lot of people, it's easy to be caught up with a certain a certain genre or a certain way for so long and not realize, like, oh, you know what, I haven't really branched out. I'm really like, but you're saying the reason is because
You're not surrounding yourself with anybody to that's challenging you to branch out.
Yeah.
You surround yourself with people, and you get in this way of thinking. This is how it is. This is the traditions. Well, this is your traditions,
Yeah.
right? These are the way you do things. But there's all these other demographics of people within the country.
But you would argue, though, and I would argue this as well, that surrounding yourself with all different walks of life has actually shaped you more as a human being in terms of understanding.
My lady at home is half white and half Filipino.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I love her just because I love her. It had nothing to do with anything. It's just 'cause, right?
Mm-hmm.
And say I only surrounded myself with black people, and I never knew anybody of any other race.
Okay.
And I never even thought to ever speak to her.
Okay.
I would have never known my father.
Oh.
I would have never known a whole family that's been wondering where I've been at for 35 years at the time.
Okay.
You know what I mean? There's things that I wouldn't have been able to experience.
Right.
If I closed myself off to one type of person.
Well, yeah, what I'm saying is, like, the beauty of being willing to surround yourself with all different types of people, like, opens up doors that you didn't know. Like, you didn't know that this culture likes to do this, and it makes you kind of understand when things happen rather than just go like, this is appalling.
Why they're reacting the way they're reacting. And
yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's just people get so angry at Black Lives Matter. More angry at Black Lives Matter than they do of like the actual Ku Klux Klan.
True.
Or like people spreading hate language. Like they'll get more angry at people like saying Black Lives Matter, which is crazy to me. I mean, I'm not one to go around saying Black Lives Matter. You hear me on the show say it many times. I'm not one to go around saying that, but it doesn't anger me because I agree with the statement.
Right.
The only way that it would anger you is if you don't agree with the statement, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't agree with the statement, it might be because you only surround yourself with one type of people.
Mm. Yeah, that's...
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Maybe you don't. Maybe you don't. I doubt it, but maybe you don't. Maybe you have... Maybe you can look around at yourself right now, or you can look at the next person you call after you listen to this show, or the people around you while you're watching it on your television or on your laptop or whatever mobile device you're watching it on, and just look around you and see if you see any type of person that looks different.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know everybody in my house looks different.
Right. Your household, yeah.
Right. So that's how I know I'm not part of the problem. And addressing it isn't being part of the problem. I'm addressing it. I'm trying to help you guys. I grew up in a family where everybody looked different.
Mm-hmm. You did. Yeah.
Every different type of black. Mm-hmm. You got your El Salvadorians.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Your whites. Middle Eastern. We all around here, and that's the type of family I grew up in.
Mm-hmm.
Mexicans. That's the type of family I grew up in.
I would say two things. For me personally, like the friend group that we have, like all of our friends that we highly respect, and something that Ernie's always said about his group is that Ernie's not friends with somebody he can't learn from. And that really does pay tribute to why Ernie has all these different types of friends.
Oh.
And much like me, my friend Jacob, all of our friends in our group, we have our circle is diverse enough to where we learn so many things from people.
Daniel's
right?
circle is different than mine. Let's get that straight. Daniel is in my circle. Daniel has his own separate circle on the side, but Daniel is in my circle. It's a couple of his cronies. That can definitely come and hang out in my circle. They're just not in it. You understand? I'm like Daniel said from the jump that I'm very particular.
Yeah. Okay.
Right.
I get where this is going, but one thing that we could both agree on, and both of our circles, we both have friends in our circles that all of their circles are very diverse.
Right. It's a diverse. I live in the Bay Area, right? I grew up, born and raised.
Yeah.
In the Bay Area, right, where you have all of these different type of people. If you're a person that says, I don't like white people, or I don't like Asian people, or I don't like black people, there's something wrong with you. It's definitely something wrong with you. Because how could you not utilize all of this talent?
You know what
all of this brilliance.
Right. I go all the way back to kindergarten for me, where it's just like I remember like all the kids that were around me that it was white, black, Mexican, Asian, Indian, like everybody. And I think that's also a benefit of being in a public school education.
But along the way, a lot of those people change. Because I grew up that way too, and then now I see there's a lot of these people that I'm talking about on this show that have changed. They grew up that way too, but they change. Oh. And it's like when they go to these things,
really,
and they surround themselves. They're at school with those people, but when they go home, and then who they hang out with on the schoolyard versus who they in class with is usually different.
See, the reason why I brought that up is because for me at a young age, it was normal to see all different walks of life around you as you're growing up.
Yep.
But now you're enlightening me a little bit, because you're saying that somewhere along the way, that there's like, I guess, a fork in the road for them where they
for sure. I just I was always one to always talk to everybody anyway. Right. Whether I end up having, and some people I end up having problems with. Running into some of those people in high school, they got Confederate flags and stuff on their car. Mm-hmm. People change, and then then they go into their hole, and then the new president comes and they come out. Mm-hmm. So it's they grow up. Yeah, we all go to school like that. We all know the rap songs, and we all know Michael Jordan, and we know all of that. But when you go home, what are your parents talking about? What are your parents saying at the table? Mm-hmm. What kind of values are being instilled in you? What have you been told about these people from this other race? What have you been told about Jewish people? What have you been told about black people? Mm-hmm. Mexicans, so on and so forth. Because a lot of the hate is like, a lot of the things I hear are just like regurgitated things that we've been hearing for years.
Yeah.
A black person get killed. What about black on black crime? You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, that's just the same stuff, and they're just regurgitating what they're hearing instead of just thinking for themselves. Like, hold on, wait a minute, they're only 13% of the population. There's not a bunch of black people killing other races, and not a bunch of white people killing black people. So when white people murder, who do they murder? Oh, they murder white people. Oh, when Asians murder, who do they murder? Oh, they murder Asians. Oh, okay. Oh, that's usually what it is. They don't want to look at it like that. They want to combat, and they want to argue why your life don't matter.
I think another thing too is when you hear a young person say something that has clearly been a saying that's been around for a while, then you immediately know where they got that.
Right.
You know.
Right, and the schools don't do nothing about it. No, they don't do nothing. You know, if you
sad but true.
Oh, if you say something homophobic, they own you though.
Yeah,
it's homophobic because they got the mod. See, that's why I'm not so mad at Black Lives Matter jumping on folks and having this voice. I'm not mad about it.
Right.
Because it's about damn time people get in trouble for saying racist stuff towards us. And because we see there's this football player named Riley Cooper.
I remember him.
And he said he'll fight every N-word in here at a Kenny Chesney concert.
Yeah, that was a viral video back then.
Yeah, and they gave him they gave him a week off. He had to go sensitivity training for the weekend, sensitivity class for the weekend, and then came back, and then the next season he got a contract extension, right? You drop an F-bomb and say something derogatory towards a gay person, your career is over. A Jewish person, your career is over.
I was surprised that he was still able to play after that.
Yeah, he was able to play. He got a contract extension.
Contract extension, you said.
Yep.
Tell me how you really feel, NFL.
So that's why I'm glad that there's this power and this leverage now.
I think that a huge positive out of all this is that this is becoming a dialogue for every household now. Yeah, even when it's rough. Like the video early on in the first week of protest, that little girl recorded her father saying all this racist stuff to her, and she's just giving him facts.
Look, check it. Yeah, and he was just spewing that same stuff. I see it. No, you don't. She see it.
You don't know. Ghetto people just want to be ghetto and all this stuff, and she was just giving it to him.
She's giving them the facts, right?
Yeah.
And we're gonna end with you want to surround, we've been saying, the key is surround yourself with everyone or whatever. What we've been saying. Yeah. And if you're one of those people who are listening to this show and thinking, I surround myself with everybody, just because your family doesn't have to be mixed, right? Your family doesn't have to be mixed. Your love is love, right? But what do your parties look like? What do your parties look like? Right. You know what I'm saying? What do your get-togethers look like? When you invite your loved ones over, what does that look like? I know what mine look like. I've already told y'all what mine looks like. Daniel is biracial. You ain't gotta ask him what his look like.
A lot of my friend group don't even know what I am when they first met me. So it was just,
Well, yeah. What does your barbecue look like? When you grill, when you're grilling, what does that look like?
Right. Facts, though. Yeah. I think the biggest takeaway from this discussion is to surround yourself with all different walks of life, because you for sure will learn something new.
Enrich yourself. Yeah. Am I saying that? Enrich yourself.
Enrich. Why did that sound weird to you?
I don't know. It felt weird.
Okay.
Self-enrichment.
Yeah, that's a term. Yeah.
Get some of that. I get it every day. Every day I'm trying to learn from somebody. Could I imagine me talking about I'm not going to learn from somebody because they white. like I'm just supposed to believe that every white person is here to deceive me. I don't believe that.
No. We were just talking about our favorite authors over the break, and we both have respect for both these authors. And both these authors are two completely different walks of life.
But I love both of their writings.
Hunter S. Thompson and
Toni Morrison.
There you go.
You know,
Yeah.
there's a lot of good writers out there. I love Ayn Rand. Vicious, vicious, vicious woman.
Yeah.
Good writer.
She's okay.
Interesting philosophy. Interesting philosophy. She's cold though. Well, yeah, man. We, surround yourself with people. Be beautiful.
Yeah. Don't be the person that eats a McDonald's cheeseburger every day. And diversify your cuisines.
Diversify your cuisines. I like that.
Yeah.
Come on, man. These people, they like to say that they're not racist.
Mm-hmm.
The old dictionary used to define racist as one concerned with only their race. And let's just look around you. That's not a bad term. I'm just saying, I'm not saying you run around calling people the N-word. I'm just saying you might not be sensitive to what people are going through because everybody around you looks the same and spews the same stuff. We out. Peace.